The mood across the whole company is bad. StarCraft 2 is dead. Diablo 3 is dead. Overwatch, despite most of the fucking office saying sacrificing our casual audience to chase sports money was a bad fucking idea, is shock of shocks dying. Hearthstone is being described as in a death spiral. We've had 4 projects cancelled in 3 months and Ian's team doesn't want to hear it, but Battle for Azeroth is an unmitigated disaster. Anyone who hasn't worked there for at least 15 years got an unnegotiable pay cut or the choice to walk. Josh Allen went fucking berserk. All because Papu Activision wants to save money. People beg more time to stay. Now the sentiment is that he smelled which way the wind was blowing. So many people are positions they are unqualified for. This isn't an insult, it's a fact. There are people 2 years into new positions asking their underlings what to do constantly. The brain drain has affected company structure severely. No matter how people tear their hair out and yell, the higher-ups still think trying to make an esport out of every game is going to strike it rich eventually. This fool's gold wishful thinking horseshit has cost them millions. Massive crunch on projects like Diablo 4. People sleeping under desks. Grown men and women weeping openly as births and a few deaths are missed. A graphics artist has been put on paid leave after being caught self-harming on his break. 2019 has really felt like things are stretched thin and reaching a breaking point. A plan to basically hire university students as scabs under a get-your-foot-in-the-door scheme that may as well be called the It's Free Exposure scheme. There was a punch-up in the office after websites like massively reported on female employees having to log their ovulation cycles. Chris Metzen came in for the first time in a long time. He had major surgery on his back or something of the like, and that's why Thrall disappeared for Legion, and he left the office looking 5 years older and just depressed. Many artists let go and work outsourced to companies like Thai asset producer XPEC to lower production costs. Overwatch 2 is now in full production as it will fix its release. It's just Left 4 Dead with robots played the flashback seasonal event. It's that for $60 and exclusive cosmetics in one of the strangest sights I've seen. A person of color, I won't place the race of gender to for their employment's sake, walked off in disgust at 4 flabby white dudes getting real excited to finally develop a game with no white men in it. Obviously the media message right now is we bow to outrage culture lest it turn its eye of Sauron in our direction, but people don't talk like that behind closed doors. They didn't used to, at least. It was about making the game the consumer would love and enjoy, not chasing woke brownie points. The game is set before and after the Winston home invasion. The memes about Overwatch being entirely backstory was strongly taken to heart. Tracer's girlfriend will die and over time she will learn to heal after developing a romance with Widowmaker, who has her own journey as the Talon brainwashing wears off. The McCree age plot hole is being retconned into him being one of 3 clones of Soldier 76 in a Metal Gear Solid reference. One is found murdered as a story seed for future content. Reaper is gay. A 3rd faction is being added to balance out a lot of the why would these characters work together just because they hate the other guy's stuff. Leader is a techromancer that brings the dead to life using nanites. Her ult brings back dead players as bots to attack their own team for the remainder of their respawn time. Loot boxes replaced with direct time locked purchases in a weekly rotation selection and strict seasonal buy it or it's gone sales. Couch co-op is happening as this was extremely popular with Diablo 3. Don't expect a massive engine upgrade as a version for the Switch is in the works. Diablo 4 went into sudden urgent production with the reaction to Diablo Immortal. From shareholders, you dumb fucks, not consumers. Your opinions mean literally nothing to them, and many higher-ups only show a distaste for you as a necessary evil they have to deal with. It's a first-person game made in the Overwatch engine. It's an absolute mess. They intend to replace the vacuum in our ecosystem left by Destiny, and they want to essentially be the first fantasy shooter. It is not going well. Gunplay-wise, they can't get the loot to drop properly, and Anthem's public response has terrified them. 3 classes at launch, 5 planned as part of paid seasonal paid content updates. Game involves siding with the demons as, after a millennia of peace, the angels are now an authoritarian, all-controlling regime who once again want to purge sanctuary. The tagline being workshopped is "Let out your inner demons," as the ult mechanic from Overwatch is basically a demonic-themed power-up for each character. The final boss is a holy/light-infused angel Diablo called Diablo Primus. I hope to God the name changes. Ending cutscene shows all 4 games have been a setup. Diablo was a good guy all along, finding the strongest Nephilim to prepare for an invasion from the void. Expected to launch spring 2021 on Project Scarlet, PS5. Battle.net and Activision's in the works subscription-based game streaming service running on Microsoft's infrastructure. FFXIV is no longer allowed to be mentioned in the offices. "We don't allow negativity in the dojo" is a fucking daily mantra now. They keep saying it's natural ebb and flow. We can weather this storm, as WoW currently has dipped below 1 million subscribers when our biggest competition just announced they finally broke 1 million at E3, but not in the dojo. SHHH. Loot crits were planned, but after Belgium were hastily reworked into an ink-on reward coming in 8.2 or later. Level squish being tested for 9.0. Response to Sylvanas is stronger than expected, but general sentiment is that players will come around by the end of the expansion. However, negative response to Christie Golden and the Void Lord's story seeding has more people worried. BFA is a turning point where we exhaust the RTS lore and move on to new content, and our reaction from our core heavy users is not looking positive. Next expansion lowers cap to 60 and level scales everything, like the Elder Scrolls Online. Velpru and Mechagnome are the next Alliance races. Alliance race unlocks will now come to the cash shop as a paid unlock after its expansion ends, starting with the Legion Allied races in 8.3 and the BFA races in 9.0 and so on. There are 2 tabled competitors for 10.0, and reaction to the end of BFA is going to heavily impact the final decision on which makes the cut. The classic team honestly look like the happiest employees at the company, but there is a growing one-sided animosity between the 2 teams. They think they can just replace us. Paranoia. Classic is going to dictate who is in charge of 10.0. If the money says one team is clearly the more profitable, they get the reins. BC and Wrath servers are in the works as part of the Classic trilogy. RTS as a genre is considered dead. They tried to make it an esport, but it's just not. Brood War Shooter was planned to be a story with a live service element. Tickus Findlay survived the end of Wings of Liberty after Raynor shot him and left him in the Zerg Hive, taken and partially rebuilt as a cyborg by the composer, a shadowy beneficiary. Findlay led 4-man Black Ops missions during the events of Heart of the Swarm and Legacy of the Void. Planned ending of the retail campaign had Tickus in Raynor's bar years after the end, with a new enemy from outside the galaxy invading Enmus, something comparable to Halo 4's Prometheans but more Gybersk and codenamed the Boiler Suit Men, and Findlay's communicator would show the composer's sigil and end with a voiceover of hell. It's about damn time to lead into the first season of paid expansion. DLC was constructed as part of the Every Game is Now a Live service company-wide mission statement intended to outgears Gears RPG elements such as upgrading more as a cyborg at the cost of humanity and losing dialogue options, or integrating Zerg bioweapons into your suit, which came with its own micro-adjutant companion. It's dead after the last paid season pass box for StarCraft 2 flopped and Diablo 4 got heavy pushing as a loot shooter instead. New project led not popular with team. Lots of butting heads at the round table meetings. User drop-off is staggering. No Blizzard game in history has fallen off this fast or this far. Lots of worries about loot box bills, counting Hearthstone packs as gambling. Rumblings in the holes that there's a experimental buy dust, pay more to get more and save more system with legendaries now exclusive to paid adventures. It's not the sport they wanted it to be. There was plans for a Hearthstone VR, but it's been mothballed.
Can you help me, Tracer?
I'm already Tracer.
What about Widowmaker?
I'm already Widowmaker.
I'll be Bastion.
Nerf Bastion.
You're right, so Winston.
I wanna be Winston.
I guess I'll be Genji.
I'm already Genji.
Then I'll be McCree.
I already chose McCree.
I have an idea.
What's your idea?
You should be.
I'm not gonna be Mercy.
Should've picked Mercy.
I'm not gonna be any kind of support.